What I wanted to talk about is so understanding another person's motivation and what they're interested in a relationship is I find extremely helpful. I had a really good long private talk with a Thai woman just recently, and I had an opportunity to ask her some questions that I really have been wanting to ask. And it jibed with other things that I heard, and so I'm going to share it here. And this was, I was asking her. This is a woman, a young pretty woman, mid-30s, quite attractive. Why was she looking for a husband? What was the interest? She's been married before, and for most of us older foreign guys dating, I don't know the percentages, but I think it's the overwhelming majority of women that are open to us. They've been married once before, and they often have kids. And the kids part doesn't really matter because once they've been married, they're really ineligible to date Thai men. And once they're over 30, even if they're really attractive, 35 at the very most, they're generally in most, and then there's a million exceptions, so please, keyboard warriors, okay? I just can't cover every exception and read a 22-minute long disclaimer. I just can't do that. But just know that I'm not out to hate on anybody, we're not out to hurt anybody, and we're not out to disrespect anybody. So the people that get their fingers hovered over the keyboard looking to say what a awful person I am, or what a terrible venom I'm spewing or something, there's no intent to do any of that, okay? So these women, they're generally, under most circumstances, in most cases, not considered eligible for dating. And again, virtually everything I learn, is for the Isan region where I live, in the greater suburban Kolat city area where I live, and in the villages where I live. In other areas, I think throughout the whole country, more or less, probably half of this applies, maybe more. I suspect it's more than that. But all I can really say is this is the reality for me here. This is, and when I share information on the channel, I check it really carefully. I'm very pernickety is a good word on what I want to share. And because when I put a video up, I rarely ever go back and look at it again. I might rewatch it if I get a lot of comments on it and just check, just to make sure I wasn't out of my mind that week or something. But other than that, these things stand, so I try to make them respectful if they're going to be out in internet land for potentially a long time, right? Okay. So with all that, a woman who's been married once isn't eligible. If she's got kids, she's not eligible. And generally, even if she's very attractive, over 35, okay? And so this is, for most of us, older guys, 50 and up, dating, this is, generally speaking, the kind of the pool, the demographic that's available to us. And what's their interest? And the interesting thing is the phrase I hear maybe the most often is to complete their family. They feel kind of broken. These are some very nice ladies. Now, I do a lot of warning stuff on the channel about if you've run across a bad person. We have bad person in America, bad people in America. There are bad people everywhere, it turns out, I think. But in no way take that to think that I have an opinion that the Thai people aren't generally a very nice people, because they treat me like gold here. I get really good care. I get fantastic treatment. I just got out of the hospital for my second food poisoning, and I eat pretty carefully. I don't eat a whole lot either. I'm trying to lose weight, and I ate the wrong salad yesterday, or 2 days ago now, and I had to spend the night in the hospital, and Fawn took fantastic care of me. And then when she was not available, her mom came and sat with me. I was never alone at any moment. Whether I wanted to or not, I was going to be encumbered with care, which was fine. All that to say that overall, I think the Thai people, it's a very good culture. That's the reason I came here, was because of the culture. Again, I have other friends outside the U.S., and they're always complaining how they're losing their home culture. And Thailand has done, in my opinion, I could be way wrong, but from what I observe, it's done a fantastic job of retaining its culture. I'm not going to travel to every country and measure it, but I greatly suspect Thailand's kept its culture more than most places by far. And that's why I'm here, and it's probably why you're thinking of coming here. And it is awesome, and a lot of that stuff is about the kind side of things, and the women being caring and respectful and all that. That's all true, and that can be true if look at my other videos. It's most guys come here, lose their head, and go immediately and find the exact wrong people, which are a tiny percentage of the population here, ironically. But we as foreign guys tend to just flock to them, and that can work out too sometimes, but it just often does not. But what does work out really well is when you find a really nice lady, like one of these ladies I interviewed just the other day. And so they were talking about a completed family. And what they wanted is they wanted a husband that would respect their parents. That if they have children, their first words out of, if they have children, first thing they start talking about is how having a man in the house will help their kids. And I think it's the exact same thing in Thailand as it is in the West. My opinion, no hate from the ladies, please, when I see a woman raising children alone, I see a lot of very soft parenting. There's obvious financial and support, right? Men and women, we tend to pair up. And me and Fawn is a classic case. I support her and financially support her in every aspect of her life. And she cares for me left, right, and center, which I need because I have a boatload of health problems. Every week, it's all about, for me, it's all about my health. How am I advancing myself? How am I getting more mobile? How am I going to go work out more? How can I go ride my bike longer? How can I go swim more laps at the pool? I love all that stuff. And I want that back, okay? So for Fawn and I think we're kind of the poster children for that thing. But that generally applies everywhere. Guys generally want a woman's touch in their house. They like to have a lady that cooks for them. Here, if you find a traditional Thai woman, or Fawn is what I would call a Thai Isan woman, because she's Thai first and foremost, obviously, but she's very Isan as well. And the Isan is a very high level of care. And again, there's some people talk about how, well, the majority of the women in the sex industry and the tourist districts are Isan. And that may be true, but I don't, even if it is true, and let's assume it is, that's not dispositive of that means those women are bad or something. That just means they were willing to do that work for that money. So then that's not the point of this video, but I just say that for people that need to have that addressed. And so they're looking really to then go on with their lives, because since the women that we tend to date aren't really, marketable within the Thai men and the regular Thai dating culture so much, we come along and we can solve a lot of problems for them. We're great at solving financial problems because we tend to be, 20 or 30 times wealthier, I think, than maybe even a pretty well-to-do Thai person here. It's a significant, and over an average person, I'd have to do some arithmetic, but it'd be just a gigantic difference. As an American, an average American on a pension with some savings, you're seriously mega wealthy here. Certainly out where I live, that's for sure. I was just actually texting back and forth with Fawn, trying to talk her into a more expensive trip in Bangkok for a couple of nights, and she's just uncomfortable with spending, probably 10 grand of their money or something on a weekend. It wasn't even that much. By the time do a couple of nice restaurants and go to a rooftop bar and order an expensive Jim Beam somewhere, and whatever, and smoke one of my cigars somewhere. And she was uncomfortable, so we compromised. She'll do 2 nights out, one in Bangkok, and then one we're going to fly in and out through Khon Kaen, the airport in Khon Kaen. So we're going to do that. And I said, look, if this is about your boys, if you're missing them, I get that. We can do one night and come back. I don't want to take her away from her boys unnecessarily. She just spent a lot of time caring for me. I got a lot more stuff coming up. I got my big surgery coming up. No schedule yet, or I'd talk about that. But no, it wasn't that. She just was worried about the money. So, okay. So we just wanted to make sure we're good. And so what else is that lady thinking? So there's a lot of saving of face. And I don't think that's necessarily a shallow thing. When I say that, I mean, that's just them getting more cultural respect back. I mean, don't we all like it when we have maybe a better job or a promotion or a cooler car or whatever as a guy or man you're into? We all appreciate that kind of stuff. That's all I'm really saying. I'm not saying it's some hollow, empty, well, I'm saving face. I mean, I think there's a lot more meat on that bone, okay? And then I think there's the companionship. I think we do give some companionship back. I know she loves it when I go with her almost everywhere, because I'm retired and I take dang good care of myself as it is. On top of all the real care that Fawn gives me, I go and do my motorcycle riding and my gym stuff. And yeah, that helps me Physically, I kind of have to, although I love it, but I really do love it, and it's my passion. And then riding to a really nice cafe and having a coffee and studying my Thai somewhere in a quiet spot, I love that stuff. It makes me totally happy. But then I come back, and now I've kind of recharged my battery, and I'll seek out Fawn's boys, and I'll go check on them. Hey, how's your homework doing? And if there's something I understand, and I can read and write Thai to basic level, and things I can help them with some of their homework and whatever, and I'll do all that kind of stuff. Or she's got the one aunt who's been very nice to us and gave Fawn a whole bunch of land and all that, and she lives on the end of her compound. Again, Fawn's whole family lives in one big compound. She lives on the end. She'll be next door to us after we build the house, but for now she's at the end, and she gets a little lonely. So I'll just wander by, and I can speak some very basic Thai back and forth. She's got a pretty thick, what I'll call village accent, and but I'm getting to where I can understand her pretty well now, which I'm kind of proud of that fact. And I keep my Muay Thai bag at her house. I don't do any real heavy stuff because my spine just won't tolerate it right now, but I'll do some light footwork and some light punching just to basically shake off the arthritis. Have a little activity in her house, say something nice to her. Maybe sometimes I bring a snack or a bottle of cold water for her or something like that. And I'll do that because now I feel like I've kind of charged my battery. Now I kind of go and I spread that energy around a little bit. And then if it's a day I've been kind of just chilling in the village after my road trip somewhere on my bike, I'll wait for Fawn to come home, and then when she comes home, I'll help her with her bags or something like that. And she loves all that. As an example of the other night, I took a slight chance on this, but I was pretty confident she'd like this. I was with her mom and one aunt at land office, local land office, and she had to pay taxes. They only pay it once, I think, when they transfer it, and she had to do there's two name transfers. I don't quite understand how it was working, but there's an initial one which was cheap or free, and then there's a second final one where the land's 100% in Fawn's name only, and that one you have to pay, and that one's for them expensive. It was about it was going to be around all total around 15,000 baht, so Nung Mun Ha, something like that in Thai. And I overtly handed her 10 grand. She asked for 10. I said, is that what you need? She goes, yeah, 10. I said, okay. So I gave her 10, and I gave it to her in public, and her mom and her aunt saw that. And later, she went back to me, and she goes, thank you for supporting me in front of my mom and my aunt. She said this all in Thai, but that was really nice. Thank you. So she said, I asked her why, and she said because then her family can see that she's being supported. And so hey, who says her ex-husband was great ever, right? But she's saying her ex-husband was a pretty low-down dog or whatever, and so fine, whatever. She likes this now better. Her parents are very approving. She said after I think it was first year of marriage, her parents told her they did not approve of her husband. I have to think that's probably rare, because you don't see a lot of negative feedback from Thais. Thai to Thai or Thai to us. Negative feedback is generally not given, almost kind of to a fault. Like students tend to get passing grades above what they really deserve, in my opinion, my observation. You can ask a teacher here. A lot of guys here work as teachers. That seems to be common. There's probably a name for it. I don't know that because I'm not a teacher, but it's a thing here. So the fact that her parents gave her husband her negative feedback on her husband so quickly probably was pretty bad, fairly egregious, I would think. But she says they really approve of me 100%, and that makes her feel good. Same thing around her work friends, her family, her extended neighbors in the village, things like that. There was a few ladies made a play for me in the village my first year or so here, and then that all kind of calmed down. I didn't take any bait, didn't bite on anything, wasn't really interested. I'll tell you what, 24-hour pain will really focus your mind. It really will. I focused on Fawn takes great care of me. She's a very attractive young lady, borderline too young for me as it is. Yes? Oh, gang mak. Okay. Economy by Lancy Yak. Okay. So I promise I'd take them by the store. Maybe I'll put some of the translation of that in and do a little language lesson. But anyways, I'm kind of wrapping it up here. That's kind of the thing. So when you see a lady taking an interest in you, and you've got a good lady, someone interested you in for legitimate reasons, those are some legitimate reasons you might be looking for. versus someone who's just willing to leave their family, pocket a bunch of money, and go travel. I mean, and that can be legit too. I mean, a woman could just be bored and has always wanted to see her own country. And when I give these little examples, I'm not trying to say everybody that does that is bad. Okay, everyone's different. But for someone like Fawn being the poster girl for this, and another lady I dated seriously before Fawn. Fawn just had, as I said before, kind of a lot more going on in her life. Fawn's a pretty remarkable lady. But the other lady in Fawn, basically the same kind of person, clearly my type. Looking to kind of complete their family and have a guy that they could kind of plug back into that hole, fill that gap in their life, and then move forward and continue on. And that's been pretty good. And Fawn, for her share to helping me, I mean, takes hours and hours every day helping me, doing my laundry, all my kind of domestic chores for me. And then when I generally ask to go out to a nice restaurant twice a week, that's my thing. I'm retired, and I love just looking nice, having fun, look really nice, and we'll just go sit somewhere. I'll sip one beer and have a nice meal. I love doing that, and I do that twice a week in my retirement, and I get great joy out of that. And that's a chore for her, as I've said before. Okay. Ik sip na tea, pom ma. Okay, I said that backwards. Pom bai. The come and go it depends on where you're standing when you say it. And I have still knee-jerk, I get that backwards sometimes. Anyways, well, I'll do a wrap-up. I gotta go. I'll do a wrap-up on this tomorrow or something. Well, that was the least pleasant blood draw I've had in a long time. I'm dehydrated enough. They were having a hard time getting enough blood from me. Oh well, it's all over with now. I didn't cry though. Here with Fawn. So to wrap up that video, so takeaways, I think really good ones are that for the little that I do, and for as little as it inconveniences me whatsoever, it goes a long way here. I get a lot of mileage out of it. Fawn gets a lot of mileage out of it. Everybody's happy. It just seems to work really well, and that's it. Now we're back on the cute little tan leg channel. This is the little pop-up market. Amazing, all this put up for like 2 days. So when you chop mine, Elena?
Yes.
Yeah. There she is. We'll see some of this as much as I can. A little crowd up here. Hang on a sec. There we go.
This area Notebook Festival. Fashion, sell fashion and food.
It's amazing. They put this all up for 2 or 3 days. Right? Song Tung Samwan, Chai?
Huh? Chai.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. Got food. Konglen toy. I mean, look at this. This store gets like my vote for like best store. Look at that. Look at that. They put that all up for like 3 days at the most. I got a couple of mean comments on the channel. A couple of them were really venomous and really, I just banned the people. Once I read the comment, there was no doubt. I just immediately banned them from the channel. There was 2 or 3 of them within a couple days. I had a lot of traffic on my channel from a recent video, went pretty big, and it brought some interesting people, some really cool ones, and a bunch of subscribers, which is great. Whatever, that's all fine. I don't care if I have almost too many subscribers. I just want a small channel. This is fine. So, but anyways. My name is Rob, and thank you for supporting my YouTube channel. I meant every word I just said with respect.